Hello guys, here we have a Lenovo. It's turning on, but there is nothing on the screen. Let me show you. This is the machine. All right, this is the username. Anyway, it's fine. Let's continue, guys. Let's go ahead. Let's repair this machine. I will guide you step by step. Okay, so the first thing that you do when you are working on a laptop that is not turning on, what do you check? Let's check. Number one, you check your charger, your 19 volts. In this case, we do have the 19 volts. I know we do have the 19 volts. We do have almost everything. You check the first and the second MOSFET. Let's go ahead. Let's check the first and the second MOSFET. But let me repeat again. We do have the 19 volts on this board because it turns on and there's nothing on the screen. That means the machine is turning on. Okay, someone jumped the MOSFET. I hope you can see. Someone jumped the MOSFET. Okay, but that didn't help because the machine is still having some issues. Imagine jumping the 19 volts because the machine is not showing anything on the screen. That's so bad and so dummy, because if the machine is turning on but nothing on the screen, that means you do have the 19 volts. So there's no need for you to do this job here, to jump this MOSFET, because you do have the 19 volts. So no need to jump those 19 volts MOSFET. I'm not sure if I do make any sense. Anyway, let's continue, guys. Oh yeah, let's check for short, check for 3.3. Anyway, this is the steps when the machine is not turning on. In our case, ours is turning on, but there's nothing on the screen. Okay. And the only method that I normally use to confirm whether I do have the image on the screen or not, I'm gonna show you. It's very simple. You have to connect the DC in jack. Let's connect the charger. The charger has been connected. So now what do we need? We need the RAM. After a RAM, what else? Okay, in this case, I'm gonna use a keyboard. You should get a light there, a caps lock light. Only if the machine is working, it's putting up, then you will have what? The caps lock light. All right, there we go. Oh, what do we check first? Let's check the 3.3 and the 5 volts. Let's go ahead, because the 3.3 and the 5 volts, they should be available before anything else. You take your multimeter, you turn it into voltage mode. You put one prop to ground. Let me just put the black prop to ground. In this case, in these laptops, you will check the 3.3 and the 5 volts here. You do have 3.3. What about the 5 volts? And you do have the 5 volts. All right. I will have to show you. We do have the 3.3 and you do have the 5 volts. Let's check the BIOS. Okay, let's check the BIOS, guys. BIOS is this tiny chip here. It's 1.8 volts. Okay, let me show you the 3.3 and the 5 volts where exactly I was checking. Okay, this tiny chip here is responsible for turning the 19 volt into 3.3 volts, and the second one is responsible for turning the 19 volts into a 5 voltage. Okay, and then these things here, these are coils. We call them coils. These are the outputs. These are the outputs to R2. These are coils. Inside the thing, there's only a wire, a coil, a rolled wire. That's all. All right, those are outputs. That's where I was checking the 3.3 and the 5 volts. It's clear that we do have the 3.3 and we do have what? The 5 volts. Now, let's try to turn on the laptop using the power button. Turn your meter into continuity mode and check for a light. There should be lights here. When the machine is turning on, there would be lights. There we go. We have a light. Keep in mind the keyboard is connected, so you should be able to get a light there. Okay, why this machine is not putting up? That's a very good question. Why it's not turning on? Even though we do have a light, let me show you that we do have a light, but there's nothing on the caps lock. I hope you can see those numbers. All right. Okay, so let's do this. Let's check the RAM. Let's check the CPU and check the 1.05 volt and check if the machine is taking the 3.3 always and then turn it into a 3.3 suspended. Turn your meter into voltage mode. Let's start with the 5 volts. So there should be 5 volts here, and we do. And on the output there should be 5 volts as well, and we do. Now let's check the 3.3. On the 3.3 it should be the same thing. 3.3. What about the output? 3.3. Okay, there is no excuse. The chips are working fine. They do allow those MOSFETs, they do check the 3.3 always and then turn it into a 3.3 suspended. Now let's check the RAM. So there's the important part here. I should have the what do you call this on the first pin there. .25. Okay, and then on the second pin there should be like 1.8, 1.3, of which is fine. .25. Okay, that's 0.25. It's called what do you call this? Why am I forgetting this name? That 1.35 is VCC. The other one is damn, I forgot the name. But let's try another RAM. It seems like that RAM is not supported because we should if you take let's just calculate. If you take let me calculate this. I need to calculate this, guys. There on VCC we are getting 1.2 0.35 volts, right? Divide by 2, we should be getting 0.65, but we are getting 0.2. Possibly that's the RAM was not supported. Let's try with this RAM. Continuity mode. Turning on. Put one probe to ground. Okay, still no power on the keyboard. Let's check pin number 2 after a notch. Okay, we do have 0.6. Oh, right. 0.6 is available. Let me calculate one more time. If you take 1.35 divide by 2, 0.67. Okay, 0.67 means this frame is supported, but why there's no display? Let's continue and look for more problem. Let's check the CPU. We do have the power on the CPU. Check the other side of the CPU. We do have power on the CPU. The RAM power supply. We do. Okay, guys. The issue here, without a waste of time, is gonna be the CPU, or otherwise the BIOS. Let's go ahead. Let's program the BIOS. So we need to read the entire chip. Alright, guys. We need to save this file. Okay, guys, let's look for a file. The file name, it's let me just say A311. We have to use the port number. All right, guys, I'm done with programming the BIOS, and I've managed to put back the BIOS. So this is exactly what I use to program the BIOS, and I don't see a need why I should show you. Anyway, if you're looking for, okay, this is the BIOS. I didn't show you. This is the BIOS. It's something like this. If you are looking for the tools that I use, the wig, you can find it on my website. What about the wire? It's also there. The MOSFETs are also there. Flags here as well. Almost everything that I use, you can find on my website. Let's go ahead. Turn on the machine. Put one prop to ground. They put the prop to ground. There we go. We have a light. Now let's check for display. There we go. We have the caps lock light. It means the laptop is now working 100%, but let's be 100% sure. Let's put back everything step by step. Because we need to see a display. We need to see a display. Alright, guys, there was no screw. I will have to ask the guys, and then they will tell me what exactly is going on with this laptop. And came to me like this. Definitely someone tried to repair this. There's no doubt about that. We can all see. There we go. But this is bad because the screen is damaged. I hope you can see the screen got a white line on top, so the screen in this case is damaged. So the client will have to buy another screen. Anyway, this is it, guys. Bye bye and take care.